In the Turkish Get Up, there is one principle that makes it both strong and stable. And in my practice, when people ask me to assess their Turkish Get Up, this is the most common error, is not understanding and not applying this principle. And the principle is very simple, that every movement up in the Turkish Get Up has to be mirrored exactly by the movement down. So, when you are performing the Turkish Get Up on the way up, you have 6 different positions. So you have a roll to elbow, that's 1. You have tall sit, that's 2. You have transition, that's 3. Windmill up, that's 4. Windshield wipe or side step, depending on what you like, that's 5. And lunge up, that's 6. These movements have to be now mirrored exactly on the way down. So the positions have to be the same on the way down. And for most people, if they don't apply this, their Turkish Get Up falls apart and they become unable to increase the weight in the Turkish Get Up because they simply don't get stronger. So what you want to do is, now that you've completed all the way up, you want to repeat the movements and positions exactly on the way down. So you get down into the same lunge that you were in when you were going up. So the same width, the same length, the same foot width. Then you rotate the leg to the same degree that you had it when you were going up. Then you place the hand in the same place where you had it when you were going up. This is a very common error amongst people who put the hand either too close or behind them, and that again messes up your Turkish Get Up. So again, the hand, you put it in the same place where it was when you were going up. Transition has to be the same. This is the most common problem. A lot of people transition back down with the leg out here or with the elbow bent. Of course, it's going to make you unstable. Then going down to elbow, the same position, chest pointing sideways, not falling down this way. Stacking your Turkish Get Up, so stacking your wrist on top of your elbow, on top of your shoulder, on top of your other shoulder, on top of your elbow, like this. And then coming down in the same way that you have come up. So stack, stack, stack. So this notion is not new. In fact, it is based simply on 2 strength training principles. First is mastering your positions, and second is eccentric training. So mastering the position simply means that you want to be competent in the end range position of each movement. Let's take a squat. In the squat, you need to be great at standing upright under load, so you need to squeeze your glutes, you need to straighten your knees, lock out your pop your quads, brace your core. That's your standing up position, right? You also in the squat need to master the bottom position, which is here. So you need to have your heels on the ground, you need to have your knees in line with toes, you need to have your back straight, and so forth. So you need to master these 2 positions. And then you also need to master the transition, the movement between these 2 positions. And that is to be able to go down and up without collapsing at the knees, without letting your back round, and so forth. And if you ask any physiotherapist, they will tell you that the way you master the movement is by emphasizing the eccentric. So the eccentric phase is where you're lowering with gravity, but under control. So just a little lesson in fitness fundamentals. Concentric phase of a movement is when you are fighting gravity. So it's the way up in the squat, it's the way up in the press, it's the pull up in the pull up, it's the push up in the push up. That's concentric. The way down is called eccentric. So that's when you're going towards gravity, but you're doing so under control. So you are resisting gravity, but you're at the same time going with it. So it's the lowering phase of the push-up, it's the lowering phase of the squat, and it's the lowering phase of the press, it's the lowering phase of the pull-up. So this is where your strength lies. That's why if you work with a strength coach, they will tell you not to just drop down into a squat, not to just collapse into a push-up. They will tell you to do so under control. They will say lower, under control, pause, then come up. And that is how you get stronger. And so the Turkish Get Up is a chain that consists of 6 different exercises. It's 6 movements. Each movement is a grind that has a starting position, a go-to position, so a middle position, and an ending position that is the same as the starting position. The same as in the squat, the push-up, the pull-up, all those other moves. So when we learn the Turkish Get Up, we practice roll to elbow. We have the starting position, we have the go-to position, which is elbow support, and then we have the end position down on the back. And the starting and the ending position have to be the same. Same thing in the next movement, the tall sit. The starting position is elbow support, the go-to position is the tall sit, and then the ending position is elbow support. And the starting and ending position should be identical. Same thing in the transition. You have tall sit, which is your starting position, tripod, which is your go-to position, and tall sit, which is your ending position, which is identical to your starting position. Now, just because in the Turkish Get Up, you end up stringing all the eccentric phases of these movements together, doesn't mean that the concentric phases have to suddenly be different. Nope, they're still the same. So then you're now doing concentric phases, but they are still the same, and the positions are still the same, so the ending positions are still the same as they would be if you did these exercises by themselves. If you apply this principle to your Turkish Get Up, and any other lift for that matter, you will notice your strength increase and your ability to handle a heavier kettlebell improve drastically.